In the shadow of Tillman Castle, a fortress that had stood unconquered for 2 centuries, Seaman gazed across the rolling hills, his eyes alight with dreams. Katerina, did you know that Tillman Castle, which can be seen over there, has not fallen to any enemies even once over the span of 200 years, he said, his voice tinged with awe. Katerina, sweeping the courtyard with a broom, glanced up. Her brow furrowed. Seaman, what are you suddenly talking about? Let's get out of here. We're not supposed to be in this place. I need to finish up my cleaning duties, it's all right. No one will come here right now, Seaman reassured her, his tone soft but insistent. This will really just take a short while. Just a little while. I really wanted to show you the scenery from this place. It looks especially amazing at this time of day. Katerina sighed, her gaze drifting to the distant castle. So what if it looks amazing? That's just the land of the nobles which we can't live in. Seaman scratched his head, a hopeful smile breaking across his face. Actually, I might be able to buy a house there. I think I'll get promoted to an intermediate mage this time round. He fidgeted, his excitement barely contained. I wrote a thesis on a new golem and my seniors really liked it. Haha. They said if the elder acknowledges it as well, then he'll likely promote me. It won't be a big house, but I should be able to buy one that the 2 of us can live in. Katerina's eyes widened, her broom pausing mid-sweep. Seaman took a deep breath, his heart pounding. So, Katerina, will you marry me? You've suffered a lot for my sake this whole time. He stepped closer, his hands gently clasping hers. Starting now. I'll make you the happiest person in the world. Katerina's cheeks flushed, but her practical nature surfaced. Before you say that. But Seaman, shouldn't you become an intermediate mage first? Why you're so mean? Seaman laughed, playfully nudging her. She giggled, her eyes sparkling. Ahaha. I'm just kidding. It's just. I wasn't expecting that. Such a day would come for us too. Her voice softened, filled with hope. I thought we could be happy. In a grand hall, Seaman stood before the elder, presenting his thesis. A new magic technique that uses golems. Elder, you're a genius. The thesis you wrote will change the world, the elder exclaimed. Seaman beamed, his chest swelling with pride. Ha ha. That's too flattering. Duke, this is all thanks to your unreserved investment in me. The Duke clapped him on the shoulder. If you keep producing such results, I'll invest even more. But Seaman's joy was short-lived. Alone, he muttered to himself, but I was wrong. Even if I work hard for the rest of my life, nothing will change. His thoughts turned to a request he'd made to the elder, one that now seemed futile. But elder, what about the request I made? Oh! I haven't forgotten about that, the elder replied, his tone shifting. Is it really okay for you, though? She's just a woman of lowly birth. Seaman's heart sank as he overheard a conversation that shattered his world. Even if that's the case, as Seaman? Katerina's voice trembled as she appeared, her eyes wide with shock. Katerina? Seaman gasped, turning to face her. A noble sneered. It doesn't mean that they can just take anything they want and trample all over us. Another added, I heard she was pretty famous for her looks. She's just as expected. Yes, another noble chimed in. If she wasn't of lowly birth, she would have lived a vastly different life. Katerina's voice broke, her dreams crumbling. These were all things I've dreamed for my entire life. Everything that I had desperately protected. How can you people destroy all of it like it is nothing? Seaman's rage boiled over. You fuckers. Take your hands off her. A noble scoffed. Brat, do you not know your place? You're just trash. Seaman lunged, but he was powerless. Kook! Pain seared through him as he fell, helpless. The world blurred, and he heard mocking voices. Oi, look at that. Is he really trying to eat that mouse? It's good that he's cleaning up the area for us. Just leave him be, another voice said. I guess even a mage of the magic tower is worth nothing in this state. They taunted him further. Dude, just tell them everything already. Hey, are you even listening? If you help them summon that golem, they said they'd release you immediately. I told you he went completely crazy after that woman died. Another sneered. She committed suicide saying that she wants to protect her fidelity. What a waste of life. TSK, TSK. She was too pretty to just die like that, though. What a pity. Seaman's heart shattered. I'm sorry, Katerina, he whispered, his voice breaking. He noticed something odd. Why are you guys acting like this today? It's like you're waiting for something. Something's off, a guard muttered. Wait, spear one of the mice. Seaman's world spun. Fuck. I was too weak. Damn it. Stop what you're doing right now. You want me to stop? a voice taunted. I am just getting started. Seaman's mind raced. If only I had been a little stronger. I wouldn't have lost you. He remembered Katarina's face, the pain in her eyes. That was the face that Katarina made too. He searched for reasons to live. It's probably because I need to take revenge on this cursed world where the two of us can't live a happy life together. There's no need to worry, Katarina, he vowed. I won't be weak like how I used to be anymore. I'll obtain any power that I can get my hands on. I will change everything. But his enemies were closing in. Seaman, you bastard. Are you out of your mind? How can you use black magic? How could one who serves God work with the demons? What about that? Seaman retorted, his voice cold. Please spare me. I'm someone who can make you the master of this place. If you spare my life, I'll do anything you want. Anything I want. Seaman's eyes darkened. But you can't revive someone who's dead, can you? This fuck-up world. Katarina, I'll destroy it all. A new voice echoed, a plea to a hero. Oh, Hero Locken. Please save the world as it has fallen into the darkness of shadows. The army of the Demon King that's been corrupted by darkness has trampled all over God's territory and slaughtered innocent people. The fate of the world lies solely in the hands of you, Hero Locken. The call to arms rang out. Brave warriors of the divine Artenia Empire, the brilliant light of our empire has lost its power and the humongous shadow is swallowing up the Lodasia continent. However, we will not stand down for the sake of our families and for the sake of this world. Today we will kill the Demon King and become the last hope that protects this world. Seaman and Katarina stood in a quiet corner of their village, the weight of injustice heavy in the air. Seaman, did you hear the news? Katarina exclaimed, her voice trembling with outrage. How does it make sense to cut off a child's hands just for stealing some bread? Katarina, you're speaking too loud. What if someone hears you? Seaman glanced around nervously. The nobles can only give such harsh punishments so easily because they never have to worry about going hungry. Katarina's fists clenched. Why does that child have to be punished so unreasonably just because of the social class he was born into? We weren't born into this position because we wanted to be either. Seaman's eyes softened. Perhaps a day will come when we can all live equal and free, when social status no longer matters, Katarina. A day like that won't come just by waiting for it. She shot back, her passion igniting. We have to be the change we want to see in the world. The children we'll raise later will go through the same things. Otherwise, everything will be over. Seaman blinked, flustered. Huh? The children we'll raise? We aren't even married yet, Katarina. She laughed, waving off his embarrassment. No, that wasn't the important part of the message. And aren't you gonna get married to me? I will, but I'm not ready yet, Seaman stammered, his cheeks red. Are you going to, or are you not? She teased, stepping closer. Oh, of course, I will, he mumbled, scratching his head. You're so shy, Katarina giggled, her eyes warm. Phew. You're terrible, Seaman. I'm probably the only person who would marry you. Seaman's heart swelled. Katarina. Soon. I will make it a reality. The world we wanted so dearly, but the dream was fleeting. Years later, Seaman, now known as the Demon King, stood amidst a battlefield, his heart hardened by loss. Demon King Seaman, a voice thundered, the entire world has been filled with suffering because of you. But that will all end today. I swear in the name of God and justice. All of your evil deeds shall be judged on this day. Seaman laughed bitterly. Ha! Ha! God, justice? That's what you plan to judge me with? Do you really think that I would fear some false god and your hypocritical sense of justice? Countless heroes of the Empire stand here with me in order to bring judgment down upon you, the voice declared. Today we shall take down the Demon King and protect our world. Charge. Seaman's eyes burned with defiance. Who are you to judge me? It is I that shall be the judge. The day I lost Katarina, justice died. I no longer believe in such illusions. I shall show you the one thing I believe in. Power. The battle raged, golems clashing with warriors. Cook, a hero grunted as Seaman's forces overwhelmed them. Look, hero. This is the day true justice is born. Away with your deceptive faith. Today marks the beginning of a new era. But the tide turned. Demon King Seaman, you're unforgivable, Hero Locken declared. I will put an end to your evil deeds right now. Seaman's golems fell and he faced Locken alone. I see. The reason I couldn't take down the Livia kingdom no matter how many golems I sent was because of you. Hero Locken, you will die here. The clash was fierce, both warriors panting. Let's put an end to this. Demon King Seaman, Locken gasped. Seaman, bloodied and broken, glared at his foe. Huff. You do not know. This world is rotten. If it weren't for you, I could have started everything anew after destroying everything. I curse you, Loken. Your entire bloodline shall spend their lives in suffering. As Seaman's vision faded, memories of Katarina flooded back. Did you know, Seaman? When you smile like this and are with me, healthy and without any big problems, that is when I am the happiest. I love you. I love you, Seaman. He awoke with a start, his head spinning. My head is still on my neck? There is no wound. A dream? I feel a bit dizzy. What happened? Where am I? He looked around, bewildered. I've never seen this kind of room before. Am I in a foreign country? How am I alive? Even black magic can't bring someone back to life. If that were possible, I would have already done it. So how is it that I am still alive? His gaze fell on a portrait, and his blood ran cold. What? Why is that bastard's portrait here? A door clicked open. Young lord? A voice called. Goodness! You're finally awake. I'm so relieved. You didn't wake up for 2 weeks. I thought we had lost the last Loken. Wait. Young lord? Who are you? Seaman demanded, his mind reeling. The man looked crestfallen. What do you mean? Do you not recognize me? Kuhuk. Goodness, the accident must have damaged your memories. It's all my fault for not having taken proper care. Seaman's eyes narrowed. All right, it might be just temporary. I'll tell you everything. So maybe you'll remember things once I start telling you everything. You will soon become the lord of this place. You're the successor to the Loken Viscounty of the Baroque Empire as well as the descendant of the great hero Loken. Seaman's world shattered anew. Loken died. What? 500 years ago. So I've reincarnated as Loken's descendant 500 years in the future. He staggered, his body weak from a recent accident. And my lord, you shouldn't be moving around so much in that state. Damn it. Damn it. Seaman roared, his fists clenched. You want me to believe that? Does he take me for a fool? This doesn't make any sense. It simply doesn't make any sense. His eyes caught sight of a massive, intricate machine, a gigant, a bipedal humanoid weapon far beyond the golems he once knew. What? What is that? If that exists, it confirms that everything he said was true. Looking at how intricate it is, I can tell. That weapon is far more advanced than golem magic. Magic that I could only imagine is standing right in front of me. He turned to the man, Hans, his personal servant. What did you say your name was? My name is Hans, your personal servant, Hans replied, bowing. Yeah, Hans. What am I looking at? Seaman asked, his voice steadying. That thing is called a gigant, Hans explained. It's a bipedal humanoid weapon made through scientific hex tech and magic. Unlike golems, which are controlled from afar, gigants are driven by a pilot who stays inside of them. Seaman's mind raced. A person goes in that thing? It requires a lot of advanced technology. You're safe from external threats in battle and react quicker to events when compared to golems that you control from afar. It addresses all the problems that I faced with golems. He staggered again, the weight of his new reality crashing down. If it really exists. Ha! That means 500 years have really passed. Just why? Why did I have to be born as a descendant of my enemy? Hans caught him as he collapsed. My lord, you can't push yourself. Please calm down. You said I'm a descendant of Loken. Then what's the matter? I should be healthier than most. Seaman began, but Hans cut him off. You need to be careful because of the curse, Hans said gravely. Curse. Seaman's eyes widened. What curse are you talking about? Hans cleared his throat. 500 years ago, the peaceful world faced a danger capable of wiping it out. Your ancestor, Loken, raised an army to defeat the Demon Lord's army which tried to exterminate everything. After a fierce battle, he brought peace to this world. I've mentioned up to here already, just get to the point, Seaman snapped. Lord Loken was praised for his efforts in saving the world, but he soon passed away due to the Demon Lord's curse, Hans continued. His dark magic could spawn golems that were more powerful than any army. He wiped out countless soldiers with a flick of his hand. But thanks to the righteous warrior, Loken, the world found its peace again. However, the Demon Lord cast a curse on the warrior before he died, which caused the warrior and his bloodline to die a painful death at a young age. Seaman's heart twisted. I did that? I didn't even cast a curse in the first place. So they really spun it however they wanted. Ha! Do they really believe a curse can last that long in the first place? He resolved to learn more about this era. I need to learn more about this era for now. If I can reunite with my followers, I'll really change the world this time. But his hopes dwindled. Damn it. Find my followers, my ass. Followers aside, these people have almost forgotten about the Demon Lord. Anyways, whatever. It's my fault for losing, I guess. Why'd I have to be born to my sworn enemy after all this time? It feels like I was the one who got cursed here. He sank into despair. This is a second chance for me, but I can't face Katarina like this. This rotten world existed for another 500 years, so I can't imagine how much more corrupt it is now. No matter how much time has passed, I'm sure not all of my followers are wiped out. Am I doomed to achieve nothing in this life? I just wanted to create a world where everyone was equal and content. A commotion interrupted his thoughts. Young master, Hans called, rushing in. What's going on? Why is it so noisy? How much longer are you going to avoid us? A merchant demanded. It's too much, even if it's been 500 years. There's not even a trace of my existence. This body has no mana, nor stamina. What can I even do with that? The merchant continued. Do you even intend on paying it back? I can't live like this anymore. Hans tried to intervene. The young master must stay at rest because of his condition. We'll figure out a way to pay you back, so you should come back at another time. No, the merchant snapped. We must hear from the young master himself on this matter. Based on your reactions, it seems like you won't be able to pay it back right now. Well, 30,000 pesos isn't a small amount. Seaman's mind raced. I'm in debt? Locken, you bastard. Your descendants have it rough. It's 30,000 pesos. You borrowed that from us last year to develop a mine. The merchant smirked. Why don't you hand over the gigant in your house? It's probably not even worth 30,000 since it's secondhand. So I'm giving you a great offer. Isn't it a great deal? Knight Commander Rogers roared. That's impossible. We only have 3 gigants in our entire house. How are we supposed to defend our territory like that? I won't allow it. Kill me if you must, but you can't take the gigants. Accountant Dixon hesitated. Then instead of taking the offer, why don't we raise taxes temporarily? Dixon, don't you know how our people are doing? We can't have what little people we have left. Leave. Rogers protested. Seaman laughed bitterly. Ha ha. What a fine household. That Locken bastard should have seen this. The merchant's tone shifted. Relax, everyone. Personally, I want to seize the gigant and the manor, but I don't want people to think of us as the people who took from the great hero house. So, how about that? Not the gigant, but the magic tower behind it. Rogers gasped, the magic tower? Seaman's blood boiled. That's my magic tower. He built his manor right where he defeated me. The magic tower, once Seaman's home where he and Katarina dreamed of a better future, now stood as a relic of his defeat. 500 years ago, where the Demon King Tower is currently situated, my home was far away from that place where I used to live with Katarina, Seaman thought, his heart aching. It was old and worn down, but it was our house. A cozy resting place where we had dreams together. The merchant pressed on. The land around the Demon Tower has crossed into the territory of our company. With our company's diverse capabilities, we'll be able to make it into a popular tourist spot, which will also greatly enhance the economy of this region, won't it? Well, where do I sign? Seaman, now known as Luke Dlaken, stepped forward, his voice sharp. Is it all right for you to be walking? Hans asked, concerned. Step aside, Luke commanded, facing the merchant. Oh my, who do we have here? It was hard to get a meeting with you, young lord. Have you already recovered? Well, I must say. The talks are going well with your vassals. Please don't worry too much. To confirm that our company will oversee the management of the Demon Tower, now we just need a signature. Luke's eyes blazed. Is talking all you know how to do? Do you even know what kind of place it is? How dare you try to take control of it? The merchant faltered. Why is he being so fierce? He's very different from what I heard. We're already being very considerate of your situation. Now if you speak in that manner, zip it, conman, Luke snapped. After taking the land that stands at the center of our territory, not far from our main estate, you intend to expand your influence and authority under the guise of developing the area and allow people to enter freely in the name of tourism, isn't it? That's so far-fetched. What do you think? Did I get anything wrong? Not only are you guys so pathetic that you can't even sell second-hand weapons, which has been a big problem, you're trying to take over the territory? As compared to incompetent people. I hate guys like you who are utterly evil on the inside. The merchant bristled. Ugh, I can't let him have the upper hand in here. In times like this, I need to give an even stronger response. The Locken household is unable to repay its debt. That's why we were trying to be considerate of you and came up with this proposition. Our company has to get the money back somehow, right? Who said we haven't been repaying our debt? Luke countered, his voice steady. The vassals were stunned. I can't believe what you said to him, Rogers said, tears in his eyes. We, the vassals. Luke seized the moment. In 15 days. No, make it 10. We'll repay everything, including the interest. Get out of my sight immediately. The merchant hiccuped, intimidated. Let's see if you'll stand by your words. Hiccup, hiccup. Luke muttered to himself. These kinds of guys all act the same. Are really touched by your statements? You're so insightful that you saw through all their plans. More importantly, seeing you get so angry to protect your ancestors' accomplishments and honor was just. Luke blinked, confused. Insightful? Ancestors' accomplishments? What on earth are you talking about? I didn't realize you took such pride in the honor of the household, Rogers continued. And I saw how that merchant bastard couldn't do a thing because of your fierce response. At that time, I saw the image of your ancestor, Hero Locken, within you. These incompetent assholes. They're trying to turn me into the Demon King again. Hans approached cautiously. May I ask how you intend to repay the debts? 30,000 peso. How much is that? You can buy 10,000 sacks of wheat with that money, Dixon explained. It costs as much as a single unit of the new warrior-class Gigant. Right now, we don't have enough collaterals to borrow money from a bank or other merchants, Hans added. Do you have other solutions? If that's all you're going to say, then stand aside, Luke said firmly. That's not helpful. I'll repay the debt in my own way. The vassals exchanged worried glances. Isn't this household the one that killed the Demon King? Why is there nothing here? Did you guys steal it all? We didn't. How could you say something like that? Hans stammered. You'll understand if you look at the genealogy. Do you think I would see something like that? Luke retorted. After Hero Locken killed the Demon King, he was bestowed the title of a marquis and a piece of large territory south of the Livia Kingdom. So, Hans continued, back then Duke Baroque incited a rebellion against the Livia Kingdom. Viscount Locken fought him because he couldn't stand the injustice being committed. However, the Viscount, who had been under the curse of the Demon King, suffered a crushing defeat. After that, his title was revoked and he was exiled to the borders, where he passed away due to the rapid deterioration of his health. Luke's jaw tightened. It seems it wasn't Locken's intention to establish his estate here, but the financial situation of this household is so dire that it's a wonder how it has been sustained for 500 years. I'm asking, how did we end up like this? It's because your ancestors hoped for us to regain our former glory, Hans explained. For the sake of making a comeback, your ancestors would do anything, even if it meant using all the assets, authority, and everything they possessed. They wanted to recover the reputation of this household. But due to the generational curse passed down through its members, no matter how hard they worked, their efforts were ultimately in vain. Hans's eyes widened. I'm not sure if you remember this, but the reason you lost your consciousness for more than half a month due to the Gigant incident was because you were working tirelessly to restore the household's reputation. You wanted to prove that you had the qualities of a hero and pushed yourself too hard. Luke's eyes narrowed. So, in our current situation, there's nothing we can do then. Even as the butler of this household, I can't help you with anything. I am truly sorry for that, Hans said, his voice breaking. However, I'm sure there's something we can do. Even if I have to give up my life, I will find a way to accumulate the total amount. No, there's no need for that, Luke said, a plan forming. I just thought of something. We just need to pay the money back somehow, right? Luke's gaze fell on a statue of Hero Locken, his enemy. How could this be? When he said to pay the money back somehow, I didn't think he meant taking the statue of Hero Locken and selling it. Panic swept through the manor. Sir Locken's statue was still here until yesterday, eh? Where could it have gone? Hans cried. No, that's not what's important right now. I must find the young lord first. Mr. Hans. There's a problem, a servant shouted. I think they left when the security was at its most vulnerable. Hans collapsed to his knees. Why, young lord, just what are you scheming? Luke, accompanied by his guard knight Philip, stood in a bustling harbor city, the statue of hero Loken in tow. May I ask a question? Philip ventured. If it's not too rude. Do you really intend on selling the statue? This should sell for quite a bit if I melt it down, Luke replied coolly. This might be impertinent of me, but there is 500 years of history to this statue, Philip began. Will that 5 centuries of history feed me? Luke interrupted. Selling this statue is just a small part of my plan. Philip's eyes lit up. That's good. So you do have a plan. Then, may I ask what your plan is? Luke smirked. My plan. I'm going to use the money I get from selling this statue to gamble. I'm going to get those 30,000 pesos by gambling. Gamble? Philip gasped. What if you end up losing all your money instead? Why did you come with me if you're only going to lecture me? Luke snapped. You're the one that dragged me out at the crack of dawn. Why don't we turn back now and beg for forgiveness? We can come up with a new plan, Philip pleaded. You're an idiot, huh? Luke said, tapping his head. Think it through. If we were to turn back now, then I would have to explain why I left with the great predecessor's statue. That I need money for gambling. I'm sure I'd be permanently expelled from the household if I returned now. I guess they wouldn't be able to do that to me since I'm still the young lord. I guess you'd be the only one to get kicked out. Philip paled. Pardon? You better choose wisely, Luke said, his tone menacing. Think about what is better for you. Do you want to become a vagrant without any money? Or do you want to become a hero that will bring honor to this household? Choose, Philip. Philip swallowed hard. I'll keep going the way we were going. Good. Good. Let's do just that, Luke said, satisfied. Damn it. I did hear that his personality changed after waking up from his coma. But this is basically the devil himself. They boarded a ship to the harbor city of Lamer. 5 minutes until departure. All aboard, the captain called. Are we really getting on? Philip asked, hesitant. Let's get on, Luke replied, pushing him forward. What? Should we just turn back now? In Lamer, they sold the statue for a mere 3,000 pesos. It's the statue of a hero who saved the world. Yet that's all you're going to pay? Philip protested. I'd go out of business if I paid you more, the buyer retorted. Luke waved it off. Hey, Philip, that's good enough. This place sure has changed. Although it wasn't like this back then. Back then, we couldn't get here easily because of a kraken. It was basically a deserted island. Philip looked surprised. Have you been here before? Only for a bit, Luke said, his voice distant. Goodness. It really has been 500 years. But it was a good idea to come here. Thank you, young lord. I don't know when you came here last, but it'll definitely be different than what you remember. This place is the second biggest city in the southern region of the empire, so things are constantly changing. It was an island where people couldn't easily reach because of a kraken and other sea monsters. But with the development of magic engineering as well as weapons, this place became a lot more populated. So naturally, the gambling scene here is really big. Are you sure you'll be all right? Philip. If I weren't confident, I wouldn't have even come here, Luke said, his eyes gleaming. Now, let's head inside. Philip said, relieved. The gambling house, Luke's confidence shone. What are you afraid of? He asked Philip, who was trembling. How are you so calm? Do you know a way to win these games? A way to win? Oh, well, I guess so, Luke replied. When it comes to gambling, your attitude is everything. The game began, and Luke's opponent gloated, ha ha. Looks like I've won again. What now? Will you continue? The gambling house buzzed with excitement. What should we do? Philip fretted as Luke's opponent laughed. Ha ha ha, I've won again. Luck is smiling at me today. It's fine, Luke said calmly. Ability is also a part of luck. The opponent grinned. Gosh, and you sure are generous as well. It's an honor to be able to play a game with such a cool young lord. However, it seems you have no coins left. Should we end the game here? We can't do that, Luke said, turning to Philip. Philip, exchange all of the remaining money into coins. What? We can't. If you lose this too, then... Philip protested. Don't talk back and bring it, Luke ordered. The opponent smirked. Foo-foo, the fool is agitated. I'm lucky today. I'll wager my entire fortune on this. I'll all in. Philip whispered. The family is doomed. The crowd murmured. Your entire fortune. Are you serious? I'm nervous because it's my first time having such a big game. But you must be fine with it, young lord, the opponent said. Well, being anxious about it doesn't change the results, Luke replied coolly. How impressive. Then, shall we confirm each other's cards? Darn, the opponent cursed as Luke revealed his hand. Wow. The goddess of luck must be on my side today. Then unfortunately, I'll take the coins, the opponent began, but Luke interrupted. Wait. You need to check my cards too. Surprisingly enough, I have these cards. What? That makes no sense, the opponent stammered. Aren't these sudden reversals the joy of gambling? Luke said, smiling. It was an enjoyable match. Philip cheered, young lord. I believed in you. There's no way you got those cards. What tricks did you play? The opponent accused. Tricks? Are you talking about having the people behind me tell you my cards? Luke said, his voice sharp. How did he know? Did he really think I wouldn't know? All of the spectators nearby are his subordinates, and I knew they were secretly passing over cards. But the reason I kept foolishly falling for it was because I needed to touch all of the cards. I left small marks of mana on them. If I can control the cards with the marks, then for me, who used to manage a golem army, changing cards is like a walk in the park. I can easily win all matches even without using any fancy tricks. I think today's business ends now, Luke declared. Hurry and acknowledge your loss. Show this young master some etiquette education. The opponent drew a sword and raged. Why are these bastards the same even after 500 years? Ha! I don't have the same amount of mana as before, but it's no issue when facing small fry like you. Come, young lord. Duck. Philip shouted. How dare you draw a sword towards the sole heir of the Lockin family? You're prepared to put your life on the line, right? Luke said, his voice icy. I've committed a sin worthy of death. The opponent stammered, backing down. Philip intervened. Shut up, you bastard. You dare try to harm the young lord. Luke hefted a sack of coins, satisfied. Wow, this is quite heavy. I think this is definitely more than 10,000 pesos. Obviously, Philip said, impressed. This kid. I thought of him as just a porter. But he's more talented than I expected. Regardless, today's earnings weren't bad, Luke said. But it'll be hard to use gambling houses after causing this chaos. Is there anywhere else to make money besides gambling houses? Somewhere to make a lot of money. Then what about a gigant arena? Philip suggested. Like how there were arenas where humans used to fight each other in the past. Now there are arenas where gigants fight each other. Depending on the match, the dividend rate differs. But if you do well, you can earn 30,000 pesos, or even more. I was interested in the gigants. Luke mused. If they're developed using golem magic, it might be helpful in guessing who'll win. Just believe in me, young lord. I was once a top student at the Imperial Military Gigant Academy. I got it, so just leave me there, Luke said. Young lord, give me more credit. Philip pleaded. As they walked, Luke witnessed a familiar injustice. You trash-like bastards. I told you not to come here. I told you to stay quietly in your area. Will you only listen after you die? A guard shouted at a group of children. Gosh, to a young child, Luke muttered, his anger rising. 500 years. Although the world has changed, there are still some things that haven't changed. Some things decay and rot even more as time passes. Stop right now, he called out. Who is it? Are you not the royal guard, who are supposed to protect the subjects? Then why are you wielding violence against young children? Are only nobles the subjects? These children have the right to be protected too. A figure stepped forward, her presence commanding. Katarina. Luke gasped, his heart racing. The woman faced the guards defiantly. Even if you may be the princess, there's no point resisting. The count himself has issued the order, a guard said, advancing. Do you know how restless the people have become as a result of all the refugees leaving? Another guard added. Then do you believe that locking people up like cattle in an environment not suitable to live in is right? The woman countered. They are innocent children that have lost their nation and their family. And if they were guilty, I shall be the first to be punished. Before I am the princess of the Volga kingdom, I am one of the refugees seeking exile. The guards hesitated. Princess, we're not doing this because we want to either. If you continue to be this way, it will do nothing but cause trouble. We're doing this because the count ordered us. Luke's heart pounded. Do you know who that is? As the princess that cares not for the noble's gaze. I never would have thought that I'd see Princess Reina in a place like this. Our Reina? No, however I look at her, that's definitely Katarina. Did she reincarnate like I did? Even then, how could she look the same as before? The guards grabbed her. Princess Reina, I apologize, but I cannot allow you to do this. If we allow this to continue, the ones facing punishment will be us. What are you doing? Just stop bothering us. Reina cried as they restrained her. Luke stepped forward, his voice a low growl. Hey, get your filthy hands off of her. These pieces of filth will, even if time passes and the world changes, just never disappear. Stop. There's no need to go that far. Reina pleaded. You fool! You dare attack a guard? A guard shouted. It seems you do not fear the imperial law. Is that imperial law of yours more important than a life? Luke retorted, his fist connecting with the guard's jaw. Guh! I'll make you regret this. Luke hesitated, realizing the situation was escalating. TSK? This isn't the time to go to the Gigant Arena. You should run before this gets any bigger. Keika? Katarina, he called, reaching out. Huh? Are you hurt? Reina asked, concerned. I'm sorry, I lost my mind for a second. I should have helped you 500 I'm sorry. But who are you? She asked, stepping back. Huh. What do you mean, who? I'm Luke began, but she cut him off. Don't come any closer. That's right. I look different, so you might not recognize me. I'll tell you everything, he pleaded. That will not be necessary. Reina said firmly. What's the difference between you and the guards that were abusing these children? Katarina, that's... Luke stammered. You seem to be mistaking me for someone else. More importantly, my name is not Katarina. I am Reina, she clarified. Oh my. It seems the young lord made a mistake. Philip interjected. You see, he's been through some hardships. Princess. We're not suspicious people. Seems he's confused you for someone he knew. Luke's heart sank. I endured countless hours alone, even though I knew she would never come back. I fall apart like this just because they look alike. Reina's butler, Victor, arrived, panting. Princess. What are you doing here? I told you that there was something important scheduled today. Do you know how hard it was to look for you? Oh, Victor. You see. That's. Reina began. Who are those people next to you? Don't tell me you were fighting with the guards again. Victor exclaimed. Although it is true that I misunderstood and escalated the situation regardless of how I did it, isn't it the truth that I helped you? Luke said. So I'd be glad if you don't get too close to the princess. Ha! How stupid, Luke muttered. I didn't do it expecting anything in return, but can't you at least say thank you? Let's go, Philip, he said, turning away. Okay, Philip replied, following. Reina hesitated. I didn't get to thank him at the Gigant Arena, the crowd roared. Gigant Arena. Neither Gigant is letting up in this intense matchup. It's times like this where you need to remain calm. Oh! Things are getting dicey, the announcer cried. He quickly blocked that attack, but... It's over. And there's the final blow. Adolf wins. Wow, young lord. You got it again. Philip cheered. At this rate, we'll pay off all our debt and strike it rich. This much is easy, Luke said, his eyes scanning the mana flow in the Gigants. Is it because Gigants are based on golem magic? I can easily determine the victor because I can see the flow of mana. This match looks like it'll be quite a bloodbath. The announcer continued, this is Savage versus Sting. How could Sting, at 1 win and 5 losses, possibly win against Savage, who's at 28 wins and 2 losses? Although it is possible to win despite such a disadvantage in strength, it seems this match will be trivial. Ladies and gentlemen, please take a look at those large axes. There hasn't been a single Gigant they haven't been able to take down. The dual axe-wielding Savage. Savage Rider, Brian. His opponent is the one that miraculously took a victory last time. The lucky Gigant, Sting. Sting Rider, Karen. Luke's eyes narrowed. Oh ho? Philip, go all in on Sting. What are you saying? Savage is guaranteed to win this match. Philip protested. I wonder, Luke said, a sly grin spreading across his face. I see a different victor. The arena erupted. What's going on? Sting is putting on an unexpected performance, breaking everyone's expectations of a painful defeat. They're blocking every single one of Savage's attacks, the announcer shouted. Savage's rider, Brian, laughed. Quaha! I thought you were just an amateur, but I see you've got some skills. However, it's still not enough to satisfy me. You can't lose, Sting, the crowd cheered. Luke analyzed the match. Sting has the upper hand in terms of mana flow. Just what are they thinking? They aren't using their mana at all. Brian taunted, ha ha. Get up, brat. Your legs are still attached. If you can't fight anymore, all I can offer you is more destruction. What do? We're going to lose all our money at this rate. Philip panicked. Are you aware you can adjust your bet in Gigant matches up until 30 seconds into the match? And just now, that time frame has passed. A blast of magic shook the arena. What? They used magic? The announcer gasped. This can't be possible. How could this be? We have an unprecedented event happening here today. Our champion, who bested the odds of 20-1 with their pure skills. Their name is Sting. We won. I believed in you the whole time. Philip shouted. Luke's mind raced. Sting's rider Karen must have been a rune knight. It's not too common to see gig ants using magic, but they must have been hiding their strength to raise the odds. No, that's not what's important. The fundamental theory behind using magic through weaponry is something I developed. And that method, no matter how much time has passed, cannot be replicated by others. That's because it's a process I completed with the use of black magic. In the hangar, Luke examined Sting's gigant. Why did you want to come to the hangar? Don't we need to head back as soon as we can? Philip asked. Sigh. I'm busy thinking and you aren't helping. Luke muttered. Shut up. Nearby, Reyna argued with her vassals. You can still change your mind. How can you go to a match with a gigant like this? This isn't a fight you should have accepted in the first place, her butler, Victor, pleaded, but a mercenary like Andre would have no trouble riding Mir to fight the Count's gigant, Reyna insisted. I made my choice carefully. In order to save everyone, if I didn't accept, countless refugees would have starved to death. That can't be. This is the only way, Victor said. How can sacrificing your future be a viable option? With a gigant that's falling apart, it's obvious that you'll lose. Why do you not seek to protect your life at all? Luke, overhearing, turned away. Let's go, Philip. Young lord? Yeah, she's not Katarina. I don't need to get involved in, he began, but paused as Victor continued. Yes, you were just selling yourself off, princess. The Count is a man who stops at nothing to get what he wants. He's threatened the refugees many times before. Without you, princess, the refugees will truly be helpless. And if you aren't completely changing the mana stone, this gigant won't even be operable. Even if it were, the difference in specs compared to Count Minak's gigant will be too large to put up a proper fight. Reyna stood firm. I am well aware of that, but if I lose without even trying, just who else will stand up for the weak? Luke stopped. Then, could I take a look? That mana stone and this gigant. I think they can still be used. Victor stepped forward. Stand back, princess. This is too convenient to be coincidental. They could be assassins sent by Count Mona K. Hey, Gramps, you've really been getting on my nerves, Luke growled. Please put away the sword. Philip pleaded. This is Luke Dlaken, the 15th descendant of the Locken family and the current lord. How can we trust those words? Victor demanded. Victor, stand down, Reyna said. You seem to have overheard our situation. I apologize for our meeting before. I am embarrassed to admit it, but we have no other way. If it's all right, I'd like to ask another favor of you. All right, Luke agreed. I beg of you. To ensure I am not mistaken this time, I'll make sure to show off my skills. Victor scoffed. Sigh. Princess, gigant repairs can't be done by just anyone. There's a reason gigant specialists are called Iron Mages. Won't he just damage the gigant further? Then, do you want to make a bet with me? I bet 10,000 pesos that our young lord can easily fix the gigant that you two were unable to fix. What? Why would I take an offer like that? Victor snapped. You don't need to take it if you're scared, Luke taunted. The hell you mean, scared? Double the stakes and I'm in. Victor retorted. Reyna turned to Philip. Sir Philip, may I ask you a question? Is a tool like that typically used to fix gigants? Ha! Philip stammered. Shut up, Philip. Just keep watching, Luke said, focusing on the gigant. Young lord. Now. Arise. Phew. Have you really fallen in a place like this? Luke murmured, his voice laced with reverence. You are immortal beings, those who lead your enemies to hell. Answer my summons once more. The gigant, Mir, roared to life, its mana stone glowing faintly. As expected of the young lord, Philip exclaimed. Teach, that's impossible. Mir is moving once again? How could this be? Victor gasped. I believed in you. He really did it, Philip shouted. I can't believe he was able to revive a dead magic crystal, Victor marveled. I've never heard of the existence of such a magic in my life. The continent would... No, the entire world would be amazed at this historic event. Young lord, there really isn't anything you can't do. That's impossible. It has to be some kind of trick, Victor's assistant protested. I'd believe you even if you said you could make a golem out of rocks. Drawing a magic circle with blood and activating it sounds like black magic. Don't you think? I can't acknowledge that. You dare to claim the sole heir of Loken. No matter how you look at it, it's fine, I'll explain, Luke interrupted. The truth is, this is a top-secret technique passed down by the Loken family, kept hidden for nearly 500 years. Family's secret technique. What kind of family swordsman has a secret magic technique? Victor stammered. That's not what's important right now, Reina said. Even if it were black magic, you've saved countless lives. I don't know how I could ever repay you for this. Thank you so much. Well, it's fine, Luke said, brushing it off. I'd like to apologize for what happened last time as well. It's no surprise you misunderstood. You were hurt because of me, so please allow me to treat you at the very least. A shout interrupted them. There's a huge problem, a servant cried. He's gone. He's not in the waiting room and I searched all over the lodging. But I can't find the rider Andre anywhere. Count Manak's voice echoed in a shadowy chamber. We've succeeded in winning over Andre, so now the princess doesn't have any riders she can use. It seems they've somehow succeeded in repairing their gigant, though didn't you say that their gigant couldn't be activated? His subordinate asked. Yes. That was certainly the case, but recently the subordinate began, but Mona K cut him off. Eek. I apologize, the subordinate stammered. I hate apologies the most. It means you've made a mistake, Mona K said coldly. Scram. You're fired. Mona K smirked. There haven't been any other variables, right? There can't be even a sliver of probability, not until Princess Reina's completely mine. Soon, everyone will know just what kind of person the master of Mona K is. In the arena, the announcer's voice boomed. Now then. Last but not least, we have Princess Reina's mirror versus Achilles. It seems there's an overwhelming difference between the two. Count Manak's opus magnum. Achilles. It's the lamer fiefdom's champion, boasting 78 victories and not a single loss. Let's see just what Mir has prepared against the ever-victorious champion. However, Mir is nowhere to be seen in the arena. Ah, have they abandoned the match in the end? The crowd jeered. Hey, did you get scared and run away? Oi, give us back our money. Mona K laughed. Have you given up because you don't have a rider? That's why you should have just quietly accepted my marriage proposal. Reina, I'll show you what happens when you bruise my pride. Andre is gone? I can't find him anywhere, Victor said, despairing. It seems Count Mona K has tricked us. Andre is a loyal vassal. Are you saying he's betrayed us? Reina asked, shocked. There are people who've seen him entering the Count's camp, Victor confirmed. Damn it! Even without stealing Andre away, there's still a difference in strength between our gigants. Reina cried. I can't believe he'd stoop this low. This isn't just crushing us with power alone. If you cannot participate, then you will be forced to marry him, correct? Luke asked. If it isn't too meddlesome, I believe I can help you with this as well. Jay, just how would you do that? Victor stammered. Young lord, it's not that I don't believe you, but you haven't forgotten the accident that occurred the last time you tried to operate a gigant, have you? Philip added. Don't worry, Luke said, climbing into Mir. Operating a gigant is just, the arena roared to life. Oh! We thought Mir had given up on the fight. But here he is, entering the arena in the nick of time. He hasn't run away even with the ever-victorious Achilles in front of him. Manak's face twisted. Didn't you say there were no more riders on the princess's side? Then did she hire a mercenary? I'm sure he doesn't realize the significance of this match. Victor turned to Reina. Sir Victor. What about the match? It may be a relief. We aren't late. Thank goodness we were able to enter on time. At a glance, the differences between the gigant's performance is great, but is this truly all right? It will be all right, Reina said, her eyes on Luke. Although he normally looks rather simple-minded, that man is quite skilled. Philip groaned, "Young lord, just why are you doing this to me?" The announcer's voice echoed through the arena. Gigant Mir, who we all expected to forfeit, has arrived in time. However, as we can see, the difference in specs is quite apparent. To top it off, their opponent is the undefeated champion, Achilles. The crowd mocked, "A gigant like that? Ha! Do they really intend to fight? Calling a piece of junk like that a gigant? Can it even move?" Achilles' rider taunted, "I'll applaud the fact that you didn't run. However, you must be aware of what this match entails. I have no intention of going easy on you. You never know until you see it in action. All right, let's put that confidence of yours to the test," the rider declared. The battle began, Mir moving with surprising agility. "He's fast as well," the announcer cried. "Whoa. As expected. His power really befits his size. However, just because you're big and strong doesn't mean you're a good fighter. You dodged my attack. I see your confidence was all baseless," the rider sneered. "That was dangerous. This is pretty bad. The rider is at least an expert knight," thought, dodging another blow, attacks, and more attacks. Achilles continues to launch a flurry of blows towards Mir. The announcer shouted, "Damn you. Shit. We can't win by running forever." "Don't be so nervous," Reina whispered to Victor. "Luke said Philip is a strong knight. Let's believe in him." "I can hear your whispers," the rider taunted. "He's faced countless knights before, so there's no doubt that he's a good knight." However, Mona Kay shouted from the stands, "What the hell are you doing? Struggling against a heap of junk like that? Are you crazy? You know the consequences if you lose, right? I am sorry to disappoint you. From now on, I'll show you a satisfactory performance," the rider stammered. "Let's save the fair duel for another day." "Sorry, but I'm too busy to accept another fight after this." "What? This aura and speed. Could it be?" the rider gasped. "I remember now. He disappeared 3 years ago, but the undefeated legend of the Gigant Arena was the Black Knight's phantom sword. Amazing. Something unprecedented has occurred. Achilles has been made inoperable in a flash. The winner is Mir, the unexpected underdog," the announcer declared. The crowd chanted, "Mir. Mir. 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 Foo-foo, to think I'd get to meet the Black Knight here once again. Good work, Mir. You know me. I had the chance to fight you in the Royal Arena 3 years ago," the rider said. "Why are you in a place like this? You disappeared after setting such a record." "Well, I'm the Black Knight. It's normal for me to help people in need, isn't it?" "Right," the rider laughed. "I guess you're getting fired anyway." "P-Princess. We won," Victor exclaimed, tears streaming down his face. "I'm sorry, but could you keep the fact that I'm the Black Knight a secret?" "Sorry about that. Why are you crying at such a joyous event?" Luke smiled, his heart lighter. "Anyways, I guess this much should be fine. I can finally leave this place with a lighter heart." He calculated his earnings, no matter how many times I think about it. Gambling is all about the flow. Mir's odds were 21 to 1. I bet the whole 10,000 pesos I made till now. It's an easy world for making money. In the fief of Lamer, Luke's total earnings tallied. Sale of the statue, 3,000 pesos. Gambling, 3,000 times 2 is equal to 6,000 pesos. Gigant match earnings plus 4,000 pesos. Final earnings, 10,000 pesos x 21 is equal to 210,000 pesos earned. The air in Lamer was thick with the scent of victory and the hum of a bustling port city. Luke Dlaken, once seaman the Demon King, stood with Princess Reina and her retinue, the weight of their gratitude palpable. "Guess it's time for us to leave," Luke said, his voice steady but tinged with reluctance. "We can't thank you enough for everything that you've done." Reina's eyes softened. But it must have been difficult helping us out like this. All we did was help out in whatever way we could," Luke replied, brushing off the sentiment. "There's no need to worry about it." "I wish we could have shown you our gratitude properly," Reina said, her voice trailing off. Luke chuckled. "Haha, it's okay, I think you've given us plenty." Philip, ever the enthusiastic companion, piped up, "Princess. If we hadn't met you, we would have never earned this much." Luke nodded, his gaze flickering to the horizon. "However, since we caused such a huge scene, to be honest, I would love to stay here longer, but I think it's better that we leave before my identity is revealed." Reina's expression grew serious. "Oh, now that I can see the bigger picture, I hope I haven't complicated things for you. There's no need to worry about us," Luke assured her. "Though I think it would be better for you to leave this area as soon as possible. He won't give up that easily. If he's willing to do such a thing, it's likely that he's scheming his next plans. You need to leave while Count Mona Kay has no reason to keep you here." Victor, Reina's butler, nodded gravely. That is correct, Princess. I understand that you're worried about the refugees, but even if you stay here, there's nothing you can do to help every one of them. For a better future, I think it would be wise for you to take a step back for now, and I'm aware, Reina interrupted, her voice firm yet heavy with resolve. However, for me, that'd be difficult. Although I may seem stubborn and ignorant right now, I can't just leave my people without someone to rely on. Even if it's just a little more. I want to help as many of them as I can. Luke's eyes softened, seeing echoes of Katarina's defiance in Reina. I see. Please stay safe. I hope that you will also return safely on your journeys. Reina smiled, her voice warm. Thank you. I look forward to the day we see each other again. Philip grinned, his enthusiasm infectious. Since you've managed to solve such a large issue, all that's left for you is to return and be crowned a hero. As they parted ways, Philip's voice dropped to a whisper. But why did you bring those fools along? You should have scammed them for their money. Luke smirked, ignoring the jab as they returned to the Dlaken estate. The journey back was swift, but the reception was anything but warm. Lord Darren, the merchant who had tried to seize the magic tower, awaited them, his face twisted with indignation. Why are you already here to collect our belongings? I thought we still had time. Luke's eyes narrowed. Time? Thank you for bringing that up. I believed you when you said you would pay off such a great debt and ran away in the middle of the night. Yet you betrayed your people. Why'd I have to wait? Darren recoiled as Philip stepped forward, his tone formal. My name is Philip. I'm the young lord's escort knight. An escort knight? Darren stammered, caught off guard. Now that I think about it, there's no need to rush. Darren backpedaled, sweating. Why yeah? I'll wait to receive it directly from the young lord. Philip delivered Luke's message with authority. Assume you're already planning your next move, Darren? This is a message from the young master to you, Lord Darren. Now that we have paid off our debt, you are now considered a trespasser. I suggest that you prepare yourself if you intend to stay and make a scene. According to the Imperial Noble Laws, Article 36, Section 39, nobles who have had their territory or a building under their care trespassed will have the right to execute the trespassers. Unless you want to be split into two pieces, I suggest you return now. Period. That was the end of the young lord's message. Oh, he also said, I'll give you 3 seconds. That was his last message. Darren's face paled. Why, you'll regret this, he shouted, fleeing with his entourage. At least, those people know that the young lord is scary. I'm well aware of that fact too, but the moment was cut short by Hans's furious approach. Philip, how do you sell off the statue of Master Dlaken? Also, the young lord. Where is he? Don't tell me something happened to him? Stop making excuses and answer my question. Hans roared. The young lord, Philip began, flustered. Can you just give me a second? He made his way to the Demon King's tower, the place that held his memories of Katarina. This place is a complete mess, he muttered, surveying the dilapidated structure. I guess that makes sense. There's no way they would have taken good care of this place. Well, I guess I should just be thankful that it's still standing after 500 years. He stood before an ancient mechanism, his fingers tracing its surface. This place is the last place filled with my memories of Katarina. No matter what happens, I'll protect this place. He activated the device, a dwarven relic still functional after centuries. I knew it. Thank the dwarves' ingenuity, it works perfectly even after 500 years. Now then, shall I rightfully take what's mine? Deep within the Demon King's tower, Luke stood before a sealed chamber, the air thick with ancient magic. The best way to fight off a curse is to have a stronger mana than the curse itself, he mused, recalling advice from 5 centuries ago. Well, I heard that advice very long ago, but at the moment that's the only solution I have. He activated the chamber, revealing a figure wreathed in dark energy. It's been 5 centuries since I was last here. Good work protecting the house, Luke said, his tone laced with irony. I do like that it's quieter than before. A voice echoed, sharp and mocking. Demon Horath. Long time no see, Death Bullet. Luke's mind flashed back to 5 centuries ago in the demonic territory. A younger seaman faced Horath, a high demon, her presence overwhelming. Are you the ruler of this place? She had asked, her voice dripping with disdain. I heard that you took down several fortresses already, so I thought you were some 8th circle old geezer. But you're young. Impressive for a human though. I'm a bit disappointed. Seaman had smirked. You're the chattiest high demon I have ever met. Does a demon's rank increase the more they talk? Horath's eyes narrowed. What a fool. I showed you mercy and you rejected it. You got your arrogance through defeating some lower demons. However, I will show you that the demons here are nothing like the ones you have fought until now. Seaman had unleashed his golems, their power overwhelming. Don't worry, I'm not so far gone that I would go into the battlefield on my own. Horith fell, her demonic energy absorbed by Seaman. What do you intend on doing by converting me to demonic energy? Are you going to change the world or something? She had gasped. You don't need to know, Seaman replied coldly. Be reborn as demonic energy, Horith. The process had been grueling. The whole process of taking her down was many times more difficult than the other guys, Seaman had noted. If you absorb powerful demonic energy incorrectly, it might throw you into a rage. I have witnessed people turn into horrifying creatures because of that. I couldn't absorb this because of the high risk back then, but when I had learned the correct method to safely absorb demonic energy, I had already reached 9th circle and didn't need it anymore. Now, 5 centuries later, Luke faced Horith's essence again. I didn't expect to use this now, 5 centuries later though, he muttered as pain seared through him. Ugh! This is the mind's realm. Looks like I wasn't eaten by the demonic energy then. Horith's voice echoed in the ethereal space. Who are you? Luke grimaced, his current body struggling. It'll be hard to withstand this with my current body. It's been 500 years. But she still has this much demonic energy. I came here to borrow your... You are you? Horith interrupted, her tone shifting. I almost didn't recognize you. You're a weakling now. So, what brings you here, huh? I told you. I need to borrow your vessel, Luke said, his voice steady despite the strain. Horith laughed, her form looming. Aha, is that so? Are you sure it'll be possible, with this fragile body of yours? Horith's presence filled the mind's realm, her laughter mocking. The enemy that trapped me here for centuries comes to me in such a pitiful state, desiring my strength. Don't you find it funny too? Luke gritted his teeth, feeling her power threaten to crush him. Ugh, she'll break my neck any moment now. Are you fine with this? What's wrong? I came to you with a decent proposal, but you're just going to kill me off. He challenged, hoping to sway her. So she won't hurt me. Horith's eyes gleamed. A proposal? With your circle shattered, do you think you'd be able to withstand my strength? If I can't, then you can just take over my body, Luke countered. There are no downsides for you who has been trapped here for centuries. If there isn't a simpler solution. Horith paused, considering. I wonder. I'll play with you for as long as I've been trapped in here. Pain surged through Luke as Horith's magic assaulted his mind. Is this mind control? My body is... Gah! He gasped, fighting to stay conscious. Don't you think you should at least bear this much? Horith taunted. Do you have the time to ponder? Where's your pride gone? Passing out due to mere mind magic, you're just as noisy as ever, Luke growled, his will unyielding. Is bluffing the only thing you're capable of in this situation? Do you believe you have the same mana and circle you had in the past? Horith sneered. Luke's eyes blazed. Even when powerless, with my circle shattered, I who reached the 9th circle with black magic would never fall victim to mind control. Horith's form flickered, surprised. What? He disappeared. Luke reappeared, his presence stronger. In the end, I will change the world. Horith laughed, impressed. To think you truly reached the 9th circle. That's enough. I simply meant that despite reaching that level, it seems you were unable to change the world. No, it's not over yet, Luke declared. I will change the world. Of course, Horith said, her tone softening. But if it's you, you'd be able to reach the 9th circle, yes? Haha, you're quite confident, Luke replied. That's right, even if I inhabit your body, the 6th or 7th circle would be my limit. I'll leave you to crush the world. I guess I'll have to work hard so that I don't disappoint you, Luke said, accepting her power. You can't fail this time, okay? As Horith's demonic energy merged with him, Luke felt a surge of power. Dark flame, he whispered, his body trembling. However, in order to gather demonic energy to reach the 9th circle, it'll take time. I'll have to make good on her expectations. I already know the theory and enlightenment behind each circle, so going up to the 9th circle won't be a problem. He examined his mana. Looks like it's only at the 3RD circle. Still, just having a foundation is already huge, so it's more than enough. Maybe it's because it's purified demonic energy. But the color is different from before. Luke stepped out of the chamber, his resolve firm. You've been resting for 500 years, so it's about time you get up and work. You guys will have to help me. At Count Minak's residence, the air was tense. Right now. Mylan, do you know what you did wrong? Monake demanded, his voice cold. I apologize, my lord. Please forgive my defeat, Mylan stammered. Defeat? Do you think this is all because of that match? Monake snapped. No matter how I think about it, there's something odd. Even though the difference in performance between the gigants is fivefold, to lose like that. Wouldn't anyone think that you were working with Reina in secret? I vowed my loyalty to you, my lord. I would never. Mylan protested. I swear on my honor as a knight that I never did such a thing. Your honor as a knight. Is that all you have to say for yourself? Monake sneered. I know something about the other Gigants, Rider. 3 years ago, I'd faced off against them at the Imperial Gigant Arena. They were a knight famous for never losing. Then do you know who they're affiliated with? Monake pressed. Nobody knows their identity, Mylan admitted. They left not long after that, so... Then I guess you no longer have anything useful to say, Monake said. I see. Princess Reina has remained in Lamer. It seems the reason she's staying behind is because of the refugees. Keep tabs on Reina's whereabouts. Look into the rider that was controlling Mir. Find out where he lives. I'll have to see this man for myself and see if he'll get in the way of my plans. Back at the Dlaken estate, Luke confronted the dire state of his territory. Ever since very long ago, the Loken household has thrived because of the nearby river and fertile lands, Hans explained. However, most have left now, leaving many houses abandoned. There are already 3 villages that are on the brink of becoming ghost towns. Luke's eyes narrowed. What do you think about this problem? Hans trembled. Why, young lord? Why are you doing this? You're playing dumb, Luke said coldly. Isn't this problem your fault? There wasn't anything I could do about it. Hans protested. I really tried my best. I'm serious. You tried your best? Luke scoffed. I would love to hang you in the middle of the square as an example. Hans paled. Heek. Luke turned to Dixon, the accountant. You're a talented individual recognized by the Empire, but the more I looked into your background, the more interesting you became. You turned down the offers from other estates and came here instead. I asked for the last 10 years' worth of finance books in order to see how you've been doing, and you actually brought it to me within a day without any errors. Haha, I'm really good at arithmetic. Dixon boasted. Well, to boast? I can do all kinds of math problems in my head, that's the problem, Luke interrupted, grabbing him. These people are really residents of the Viscounty? Impossible. When I calculated the average, there shouldn't have been any slums like this. Dixon stammered, pardon. How does it feel to actually take a look at the village yourself? Luke asked. You can't summarize human life into numbers alone. You need to spend time with them and figure out for yourself why the Viscounty is in this state. If you can't find the cause, then you will no longer be working for us. You'll fire me. Dixon gasped. Everyone. Dixon shouted, addressing the crowd. I am Dixon, the accountant of the Loken household. I've come to better the living conditions. Luke muttered to himself, I need to improve this place so that I can raise my circle. Back at the manor, Hans confronted Philip. Tell me again. Philip, is it true that he repaid his debts through gambling? Why yes, sir, Philip admitted. Goodness, he actually resolved his debt issue by gambling, Hans groaned. Why didn't you stop him? Philip, the image of the household will plummet if people found out about this, Rogers added. But it wasn't during the games. Philip protested. It's the truth. Even if his identity wasn't exposed in the casino, it'll only be a matter of time before everyone knows, considering Count Minak's intel power, Hans warned. He's the head of Lamer, so all news will reach him. Considering his evil personality, it's possible that he may try to retaliate. If he were to realistically do that, there is nothing we can do as he is a distant cousin of the Emperor. And we've basically given him a reason to wage war against us. Luke stormed in, his voice cutting through the tension. I can't listen anymore. Where are the ones that were saying that the reputation of the household is important? Are you saying that we should just ignore the evil deeds that happen in front of us? We're just speaking realistically, Hans argued. Our military force is nothing compared to Count Minak's. We just wanted to let you know that your decisions have put the household in danger. Did you earn your titles as heroes by licking the boots of those in power? Luke challenged. Were you not titled heroes because you fought even in the most disadvantageous situations for the sake of justice? The people here are giving their all for the Lokens. So were the problems resolved? Yet you all are making a big deal out of my gambling? This is serious. Hans protested. The reputation of the Lockins will plummet enough. Luke roared. Does having a good reputation solve hunger? Your duties are to protect the people. The Viscounty's people are starving and leaving because the living conditions are unbearable. Yet you still can't get your priorities straight. He turned to leave, his voice cold. What a fool. I will not tolerate this kind of behavior again. Everything will change going forward. Those who cannot follow my orders will be dismissed. If you believe that my orders are not right, you can leave. Hans stammered. Why, young lord? The people here have all served the Lockin household for a very long time. Yeah, and I don't like people with narrow-minded perspectives. Luke retorted. I'll show you my resolve. Philip, you did pretty great on our journey. And me? Philip blinked, surprised. You were as skilled as a captain, Luke said. I think it's only right for someone skilled to be the knight captain. What do you think, Rogers? The simple. The one to win in a duel will be appointed as the knight captain. I could never do such a thing, Philip protested. He's my uncle and the one who taught me how to wield a sword. Be quiet, Philip, Rogers said, stepping forward. I understand. It's been a while since we fought, just the two of us. Huh? Well then, I'm just going to give it my all. The training grounds buzzed with anticipation as Philip and Rogers faced off. I can tell that Philip is strong, Luke thought, observing. Does that mean Rogers is that strong? Here I go, Philip shouted, charging forward. Rogers parried effortlessly. Seems like you've gotten better, Philip. Your skills have improved. I'm different from before, Uncle, Philip declared, his sword flashing. Luke watched, impressed. After facing countless knights in the past, Phantom Sword, looks like you weren't just messing around. Rogers countered. I see. So the young lord praised you for a reason. However, in order to become a blade that protects the family, you'll need to train more. The clash ended with Rogers' victory. I think the match is over, he said, sheathing his sword. Young lord, is this enough to show you why I am the knight commander? Impressive, Luke said, nodding. Later, during training, Rogers barked orders. You better not quit. We haven't even run that much. The young lord is watching. Run faster. Be but Uncle Rogers, Philip panted. I never thought you'd lose that easily. Is in the continent's top 5 swordsmen? Then, if someone like him were to target me, I'd have no choice but to die. Luke approached. I'm sorry, Philip. I intend on selecting you as my official escort knight. Make sure to do whatever it takes to fulfill that role. I'll do my best, Philip vowed. In order to become the blade that protects you, I'll show you that I am worthy of your trust. Then hurry up and join them in training, Luke ordered. Seriously, though, Luke mused. To think 10 out of the 50 knights would be considered experts. I guess we can thank our warrior family lineage for that. It's not just Philip. Even Rogers is. They're incredible talents most people would wish to have. Hans approached, his voice heavy. Young lord, why are you doing this? First you sell the statue and now you're selling off the family treasures. Do you intend to throw away the honor of your family name? If it makes me money, then I intend to do so, Luke replied coldly. The warrior of Dlaken, who died 500 years ago, is of no help to us right now. Think about it. It's because of those old principles we held onto, all in the name of honoring the warrior of Dlaken, that the family has fallen to its current state. That is impossible, Hans protested. If it wasn't for the curse of the Demon King. We praise our predecessors for fortune and blame the Demon King for our downfalls? Luke snapped. Allow me to be clear. I intend to become someone greater than the warrior of Dlaken. So if you intend to stay tied to our family's old principles, I will erase you from our family's history. Hans collapsed, tears streaming. Are you okay, Hans? Young lord, no, young master. I remember the days when you used to sit on my lap as I read you a book. I can't believe how much you've changed. The way he constantly visits the Demon King's castle, Hans whispered. There is no other explanation for this. I'm sure of it. It must be the Demon King's curse. Just this one time, can't you take Hans's advice? Another vassal pleaded. What you said just now was too harsh, Hans added. My thoughts are a little different, Luke said, his voice firm. And pushing back as much as possible. Well, we can talk about that later. Have you completed the task I gave you? Young lord, your voice is too loud. About that, Luke's eyes narrowed. What? Philip, this is different from what you told me. See, can you please be a little quieter? Philip whispered. This is information I barely managed to get from Hans. Luke's senses sharpened, detecting a powerful presence. Doesn't he look dead from the outside? This is some immense pressure. I can tell this is the strength of a 5th circle. No, maybe he's even stronger than that. Don't make me repeat myself, Luke demanded. Answer me. Who are you? In a dimly lit cell within the Demon King's tower, Luke confronted Mute, the fiefdom's sole Iron Mage. I heard you had been locked up here for a long time. Rotting away in a place like this? But you seem just fine to me. What's the fiefdom's sole Iron Mage doing while someone lazed away in my territory? Why, young lord? Mute stammered. Why have you stepped foot in a place like this for my sake? Did you think I would do nothing while you've been harming yourself by abstaining from food and drink? Luke asked. Is that why Hans locked you in here? That's. Mute began, but Luke cut him off. You lost consciousness due to a gigant accident caused by my carelessness. Was that not the case, young lord? Mute said, his voice heavy with guilt. If I had only examined it more closely, that would not have happened. Please punish me. It was my fault. Do you believe your life to be worth that much? Luke asked. I wish for nothing more than to atone for that with my life. Plus, it was already confirmed that the gigant accident was not your fault, Luke said. I get that you're incredibly loyal, but you're killing me with your stubbornness. Mute's eyes widened as Luke drew a sword. Since you wish for it, I shall do just that. Philip, bring me a sword. Why, young lord? Philip gasped. What is the meaning of this? It would benefit me more to use you than to kill you, Luke said, sheathing the sword. I'm planning on working you to the bone, to the point that you'd wish you were dead. It is your duty to pledge your lifelong allegiance to me and assist me. Swear it on your honor as a magician and engrave this moment onto your heart. Mute nodded solemnly. Why, yes, sir. Until the day of my death, I am the Locken family's Iron Mage, Mute. I swear I will devote myself to atoning for my sins. Young lord, where did this much money come from? Philip asked, eyeing the sack Luke produced. It's nothing much, just around 70,000 pesos, I guess. Luke replied casually. Use this money and prepare to raise the magic tower. Buy any grimoires you need and procure the necessary equipment to repair and manufacture gigants. Unlike the past lords, I plan to invest heavily in magic. However, I caused you harm, young lord, Mute protested. Make sure such an incident never takes place again, Luke ordered. What do you think you're saying? This is a punishment. Resolve yourself. I don't intend to forgive you so easily. Mute's resolve hardened. As expected of Sir Mute, what incredible mana. Philip marveled. This man has not a shred of flexibility, but that stubbornness of his will serve as a beacon during a crisis. 1 month later, the fiefdom was transforming. Philip, once carefree, now trained harder than anyone. Mute, freed from his self-imposed exile, led the training of new recruits. Dixon returned, his face alight with pride. Long time no see, everyone. It's a relief you all seem well. The whole fiefdom was in chaos because we were searching for you. Hans exclaimed. Where have you been this entire time? I apologize for unintentionally causing you any worry. Dixon said. I believe it'd be better if I were to explain while showing you. The slums had transformed into a bustling market. Is this truly the slums? Hans gasped. Unlike before, anyone is free to sell their wares now. Do you see the market over there? This was decided together with all the residents here. Now everyone is discussing how to improve the fiefdom together, and the old, inefficient traditions are getting abolished. Don't you think the fiefdom is looking as it should now? Hans nodded slowly. I have no choice but to agree. However, there is no denying that everything happening now goes against 500 years of the Locken family's policies. I too had the same concerns that you have now, but I have let it all go, Dixon said. He's proven himself with results, so I have nothing more to say. A week later, Hans approached Luke. I'm sorry for dumping so much work, Hans, Luke said. I've organized all the documents you had asked me to, young lord. Still, I'll be counting on you, Luke replied. Also, I will resolve the issue regarding the office tomorrow. I could also repair it myself, Hans began. Your priorities are wrong, Hans, Luke interrupted. Those who have nowhere to shelter from the rain are overflowing in our fiefdom. Think of those people first. Hans's respect grew. The more I come to know the young lord, I find that following him is the right thing to do. However, lastly, I must determine what the young lord's true intentions are. Every night, he secretly heads somewhere to the Demon King's castle. If the young lord were to be taken over by the Demon King's curse, Hans followed Luke, his heart pounding. Have you come, young lord? A voice called. Did you take care of what I requested? Of course we did, another replied. Those men. They're the same bandits who were banished from our fiefdom for their plundering. So they were living here in hiding. Luke grinned. Hee hee, you guys work fast. I like that. And there seem to be a lot of them. Then, shall we begin? Hans hid, watching as Luke met with the banished bandits. What's in the bag? One asked. Did you prepare a nice gift for us? Sure. If you're ready for it, Luke replied, don't worry. We made sure to understand the book that you gave us perfectly, the bandit leader said. Hans's mind raced. Why did he give those bandits a book? Damn it. They're too far for me to hear anything. Young lord, what are you planning? The bandit leader continued, thanks to you, we're no longer illiterate. Because you summarized the plot for us, we were able to understand even the hardest parts. However, there's a price to everything, Luke said. Of course, the leader agreed. Thank you for everything. Because of you, young lord, even the children are able to read now. My wife can now walk again. You're our family's savior. I'm glad I could help, Luke said. And thanks to the food and medicine you brought, I'm sure you're prepared. Give us your order. We will do anything you say. The bandits vowed. Perfect, Luke said, producing documents. That's a lot of money. Probably around 10,000 pesos. The answer is within the books. Those are documents that acknowledge you as official residents of my territory. With them, you'll have the right to claim this as your land. I'll build a town near this place. You'll be able to live there. I can't believe this, the leader stammered. We are mere bandits that have betrayed our lord. We're already grateful to you for looking out for us, I agree. We have no right to accept such a gift, another added. All we have done is steal from others in order to survive. I'm not fully accepting you either, Luke said. I'm well aware. Even if you had no choice, plundering is a heavy crime. However, the fact that the Dlaken family has forced you to do it is another crime I cannot forgive. Although you have stolen from others because you avoided hurting them, I believe you still have a chance to atone for your crimes. This money is half a year's worth of payment. From now on, you'll become mercenaries. If you have made others fear you, prepare to die fighting on their behalf. That is your path to atonement. This is the future I can give you. However, the path you will walk toward that future is up to you. Young lord, the leader said, tears in his eyes. We bandits will lay our lives on the line to protect this territory. That is the rule of the Dlaken family, Luke declared. Bandits within the territory were considered targets for subjugation. Back at the manor, Philip approached Luke. Young lord, we've almost spent all 2,100 pesos we brought back from Lamer. I know, Luke said. It wasn't going to be enough to continue operating our territory anyway. Shut up, Philip. What are we going to do now? Should we go on another journey? Philip suggested. Have you brought the records regarding mine development? Luke asked. About that, Philip hesitated. There are only records of failed attempts decades ago. Although we've tried looking within our territory, there wasn't a single sign of a mine anywhere. Then what was the reason we incurred that much debt for something with such little chance? Luke demanded. We were in a horrible state due to a few unfortunate events happening within a short period of time, Philip explained. That's because that was the only option at the time. And while the residents were moving away, you were unconscious and you had no choice but to hang on to a rotten rope. I understand now, Luke said. With a failed harvest season, even maintaining the territory is impossible. However, something is off. There should be a mine. Why are there no records over here? Scouting out the area was too difficult due to the abundance of monsters, Philip admitted. Because of monsters hiding within every corner of the region, so you weren't able to scout the region? Luke asked. The Rokia Mountain Range? The Rokia Mountain Range? Philip stammered. Even though we've sent our knights there a few times to scout out the area, they had no choice but to return empty-handed. Please don't tell me you have weird plans, Philip pleaded. No. That place is dangerous. If you're going to go, please take me with you. It must be there, Luke said, his eyes gleaming. I and the Rokia Mountain Range. Luke faced a horde of monsters. Philip, that bastard. I thought he was overreacting like usual. Turns out he was actually right, this time. The monsters moved in unnatural coordination. This is odd though. These monsters should all live within separate regions. Why are they cooperating with each other? Don't tell me you adapted to deal with humans. Luke unleashed his magic. You bastards. You think you're so tough, huh? From now on, I'll be taking care of you myself. The battle was swift, his dark flame spell incinerating the weaker foes. This is going better than I thought. I knew the future mana stones could handle it, but they just keep on coming. Dealing with all of them is difficult. He spotted the leader, an orc of immense power. Judging by his aura, he must be the leader. Alright, why don't I join in on the fun? Physical strengthening. Brainwash magic. Obedience. The orc knelt subdued. Looks like your orc leader is my subordinate now. It seems the tides have turned to my side. I won't hurt you if you can bring your leaders here. Luke questioned the subdued monsters. I'd heard that there's a place where dwarves would come and go, but do any of you know anything about that? Worry not. I shall guide you to that place, master, the orc leader growled. Luke followed, arriving at a cave entrance. This is the entrance? There are traces of an avalanche, but something strange. Just what could be in there for these monsters to be this scared? He ventured inside, his dark flame illuminating the darkness. There was a mine there, after all. I knew it, the monsters cowered. You can all go back now, Luke ordered. In exchange, never bring harm to humans again and spend your time peacefully until I give you orders. Stay hidden until then. I'm sure they'll come in handy one day, memories flooded back. In the past, with their overwhelming techniques and force, humans had oppressed other races. They wished for only humans to be left on the continent. As such, Seaman, who was known as the Demon King, began to burn down one kingdom after another. For the other races, he was their savior. At the Demon King's tower, Luke met with survivors of oppressed races. So there aren't even 10 remaining survivors of your tribesmen. Make a base for them in a different territory and make them do construction work. Thank you, a survivor cried. Are there any more left? Luke asked. If not, let's wrap up and… I seem to be the last one, an elderly dwarf said, stepping forward. Well, I wonder, Luke mused. Is it all right to make an elderly man wait this long? That a dwarf, an earthen race that possesses the greatest technology, would come here. On top of that, the energy radiating from him is… Well, who do we have here? I never even dreamed I'd get to meet an ancient dwarf. The dwarf laughed. Gahaha. It wouldn't be easy to tell from my appearance alone. Humans. They lack technology and indiscriminately destroy nature. Because of them, plenty of ecosystems have been ruined. Hee, I too am a human, Luke said, smirking. So, are you saying you'll help me who aims to wipe them out? What are you saying? The dwarf roared. You are the Demon King, aren't you? Luke nodded. That dwarf mentioned that there was a huge mine here. Looks like he was right. Anyway, it should be in a state of disrepair, but to think it'd be holding up this well. The dwarf's abilities really are unmatched. With the amount of ores here, as long as we have people willing to work as miners, our fiefdom would have no worries for now. He paused, sensing something amiss. That's odd. The construction ends here. After I died, I'd heard that this place had been occupied by humans. Despite that, there are plenty of valuables scattered about. Is it because of that? No matter how rushed they were, would the dwarves that dearly cherish their tools have made this kind of mistake? A roar shook the mine. I finally get why. The monsters were terrified. Master of the mine, Great Worm. It's because of this guy that this mine was abandoned. I'm sorry, but you're quite a bother, Luke said, facing the beast. Well then, will you get out? The Great Worm roared, its massive form filling the mine. Garg. Luke unleashed his dark flame, but the creature barely flinched. That should be enough to calm him down. I'm aware that my magic has weakened, but what the hell is that thing for my attack to not even leave a scratch? The worm lunged, its hide impervious. There's no way. It ate the minerals and evolved. Luke muttered, dodging. Damn it, how? Where did this thing come from? No matter what skill I use, it's not taking any damage. He considered his options. I have no other choice. If I want to defeat him, I need to bring the gigant here and… Arg. Fuck all of this. He blocked off the exit. The worm's hisses echoed. If a monster of this size was wandering about outside, it should have left marks around the forest. Was there anything like that? Or could it only live in the mines? There's no point in bringing the gigant here. The situation grew dire. This complicates things. If only I knew its weakness, then I wouldn't struggle this much. A surge in the mana flow caught his attention. The flow of mana was disrupted just now. Buy me some time. If I'm correct, there must be something nearby. Where is it? I found it. An ancient dwarf's pickaxe. A necessity for dwarves when mining. Luke gripped the pickaxe, channeling his magic. Physical strengthening. With this, I'll be able to mine anything. He struck, but the worm barely reacted. Wait, did I not exert enough force? Damn it. Back at the manor, Philip faced Hans's wrath. Philip, were you aware that the young lord disappears every night? Well, there have been times when he would disappear without warning, Philip admitted. You idiot. Are you telling me that the appointed escort knight is unaware of our lord's whereabouts? Hans roared. Every time I tried to follow our young lord, he kept managing to disappear from our sights. Philip protested. Not anymore, Hans declared. There's no need to worry anymore. Actually, I have decided to fully trust the young lord. I believe that the young lord is doing his utmost for the sake of his people. In the mine, Luke struck again, his dark flame surging through the pickaxe. It might not have worked before, but now. Stop all of this and die. The worm collapsed, the mine trembling. Ha! I'm tired, Luke panted. Seriously, though. I don't think I can handle another one of those things. Although, thanks to that thing, it looks like we might be able to save on manpower. He surveyed the mine, finding dwarven remains and artifacts. The remains of a dwarf, rare artifacts, and a few pieces of armor. Looks like they tried to protect this place. All right, I hope this is enough. Now that you have a place to rest, leave all your burdens and be at peace. Also, I hope you understand that, even if I take all of your stuff, it doesn't mean I bear any ill intentions. The discovery of the mine sent waves of excitement through the Locken estate. Oh my! You found a mine! Hans exclaimed, his eyes wide with disbelief. Yes, I saw the mine, and it's filled with, or, Damini crate, in fact. Luke confirmed, his voice steady but brimming with confidence. The most important thing is, there's no sign of monsters. Now the territory's financial issues will be resolved. That's such a relief. Dixon chimed in, already calculating. I guess I just need to prepare equipment to dig tunnels. I don't think that'll be necessary, Luke replied, a sly grin on his face. The tunnels were so well maintained. It's as if someone already worked on them. With the right manpower, we can generate significant profits. All I did was, I've moved the monsters deeper into the mountain range. If necessary, when the territory's forces are insufficient, they could serve as a strong force. Young Lord. It's all thanks to you, young Lord. Luke waved it off. It's nothing. The foundation of the territory is coming together to prepare for any unforeseen territorial wars. Finish what you've been working on. If you don't want to live like before, don't let your guard down. Devitnes. If you lose focus, I'll leave you behind this time. He paused, his gaze sharpening. So, I have a favor to ask. Yes, anything you need. Hans replied eagerly, can I trust you to manage the territory while I'm away? Luke asked, where are you suddenly going? Hans stammered, alarmed. Ask Philip for the details, Luke said, turning to leave. The young lord decided to buy a gigant, so Philip grinned, stepping forward. You know I'm familiar with gigant trends, right? I'll make sure to escort him properly. Don't worry, everyone. I'll make sure no issues arise by accompanying him. Mute, the Iron Mage, interjected, regarding gigants as an Iron Mage, Dixon cut in, since this involves expenses, I'll go. Hans threw up his hands. Aren't you all being too unfair to me? The journey to procure a gigant began with high spirits. In the carriage, Philip's excitement was palpable. Yes, of course. Owning a dream gigant is unbelievable. Luke raised an eyebrow. Do you like it that much? How could you say something so disappointing? Philip exclaimed. There's already a gigant in the territory, isn't there? A new model gigant is on a completely different level from that antique. A true rider is only complete when piloting such a gigant. Demon, you sure talk a lot, Luke said, cutting him off. Drop the unnecessary gigant philosophy. Don't even think of fooling around while traveling with me. Philip pouted. What do you take me for? Quiet, Luke snapped. Sigh. If you weren't my escort knight, I'd make you drive the carriage. Rogers chuckled. That's too much, uncle. It was a good call to bring Rogers. He's perfect for shutting Philip up. Their journey was interrupted by a sudden jolt. Nay. Whoa. What's going on all of a sudden? Philip shouted as the carriage swerved. I'm sorry, young lord, the driver called. A trailer suddenly cut in. A trailer. Luke mused, peering out. This is a trailer? It's a kind of massive carriage powered by magical engineering. I've never seen one before. Rogers nodded. It's incredibly expensive, but it's much stronger than a carriage, usually used to transport heavy and large loads. Looks pretty good, Luke said, half joking. Should I buy one? A voice called out, Are you all right, sirs? Judging by your startled expressions, it seems this is your first time seeing a trailer. We are, Luke began, cautious. Who are you people? Merchants from the Shade Trading Company, the man replied with a flourish. We travel around rural territories, buying up local specialties. Ha ha. Of course. We only started recently. But soon, we'll be the top of the Shade Trading Company. Keep an eye on us. Luke's eyes narrowed. Never heard of it. The merchant grinned. By the way, sir, you seem oddly familiar, so I must ask. Are you perhaps a lord of some noble family? Why are you suddenly asking that? Luke shot back. Oh, no, I didn't mean anything by it, the merchant said, backpedaling. I've never seen you before. Merchants are always salesmen after all. So we try to build relationships with lords like yourself. Luke's suspicion deepened. That being said, though it's not a place that would interest you much, it's not exactly well known. The merchant laughed nervously. Ha ha. I've committed a faux pas. It's fine. We're busy, so we'll be on our way. As they departed, Luke muttered, I've gotten so used to sales talk that I may have been too forward. Philip leaned in. The people we met earlier, didn't they seem like mercenaries? Rogers nodded. That's what I thought too. There's no way a newly established merchant group could afford a trailer. That Teisel person, the people behind them didn't seem like merchants either. Luke's senses sharpened. That's not all. There was something loaded on that trailer. I sensed a faint flow of mana. Even with thick fabric covering it, the distinct mana flow couldn't be hidden. Philip's eyes widened. Don't tell me what was loaded on that trailer is later that night as they camped, a figure emerged from the shadows. Good evening, sir. Fancy meeting you here again. It must be fate. You seem to be heading in the opposite direction from us. Luke's guard was up. We had some unfinished business to take care of. So what brings you all the way here? Would it be all right if we joined you? Rogers whispered, for a group this size, it seems a bit excessive. The merchant, Teisel, smirked. I underestimated you as a rookie, but you're still the lord of a territory, aren't you? You're quite perceptive, sir. I have no personal grudge, but this is my job. Please die here, my lord. The ambush erupted with a shout. Kill them all, everyone. Especially the blonde young lord, make sure to eliminate them. Understood, the attackers roared, swords drawn. Young lord, please hide behind us. Philip shouted, stepping forward with Rogers. There are too many enemies, protect the young lord, Philip. Rogers bellowed. These bastards dare to attack the Rockin family. We will protect you with our lives. Luke assessed the situation. This is too large in scale to be just an assassination. On top of that, their skills are no joke. They're handling Philip and Rogers' swords with precision. If this turns into a prolonged fight, we'll be at a disadvantage. An attacker broke through, sword aimed at Luke. How dare you point your sword at me? Luke snarled, dodging. Thanks to you, I'm fine. Young lord, are you all right? Rogers called, fending off another foe. These guys are no mere assassins or bandits. If they can get past Rogers and approach me. Each and every one of them is a highly trained knight. Teisel's voice cut through the chaos. Oh my, however, it would be wise for you to surrender now. Damn it. So it was true after all. Luke growled. That energy I felt earlier was from a gigant. Rogers, Philip, close your eyes immediately. Luke shouted, raising his hands. Oh sun, break the silence and shine amidst the darkness. Flash. Arg. My eyes, I can't see. The attackers screamed, blinded. Philip, Rogers, get out of here quickly. Luke urged. Damn it, we can't let them escape. Teisel shouted. Be but captain our eyes. Get yourselves together already. Hurry. Chase after them. Teisel roared as they fled into the forest. Philip panted. To pull off such a brilliant move in a dire situation, as expected, the young lord is incredible. Rogers nodded. Who would have thought they had a talent for magic? Lately, the young lord keeps surprising us. Luke smirked. If you have the energy to babble, run faster? Do you think those guys who brought a gigant will give up on us so easily? Sorry. Why yes, sir? Philip stammered. It's a relief we camped in the forest, just in case, Rogers said. If it were the plains, we'd have been caught for sure. It's a dark night, making it hard for them to track us. Luke nodded. We need to put as much distance as possible now. But the attackers were relentless. There they are. Catch them. Don't let them escape, voices echoed through the trees. No way, how are we being outclassed like this? Philip gasped. Young lord, please keep running, Rogers said. Will you be okay? The opponents seem quite skilled. We didn't even show our real skills earlier, Rogers replied, gripping his sword. Philip, Rogers, do you not trust us? Yes, I'm sorry, but it's hard to show my full ability with you here, young lord, Philip admitted. That makes sense, Luke said. Then I'll leave it to you. It'll be completely different from before, Rogers vowed, turning to face the pursuers. Phantom sword. AARGH, an attacker screamed as Rogers' blade struck true. From now on, to dare try and harm the young lord. I'll show you my true skills. Don't even think about mercy. Philip joined in, his voice fierce. Hey, you so-called merchants. To point your swords at the warrior family, the Locken house, you'd better be ready to pay the price. Elsewhere, chaos erupted in Lamer. Quickly, get some water, a voice cried. Princess. This isn't an ordinary flame. It's as if oil has been poured on it. It's extremely dangerous. You must leave this place at once. Another urged. I can't abandon the people and escape on my own. Raina protested, her voice breaking. Daddy. Daddy. My daughter is in there. Please, save her. I'm sorry, a soldier replied, his voice heavy. I'm sorry. It's been a while, Princess Raina, a familiar voice sneered. I happen to be training nearby. Training at this hour? Raina asked, her eyes narrowing. That's why we're conducting night drills, Count Monarch replied smugly. Isn't this fate? Lately, we've been focusing on disciplining the soldiers to ensure the safety of the citizens day and night. Where did you come up with such lies? Raina snapped. Princess Raina, you scoundrel. I told you before, didn't I? The one making things hardest for the people right now is you, Princess. Live in despair and regret for the rest of your life, Princess. Ha 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 ha. I will never, Raina whispered, her resolve hardening. It seems Rogers and Philip are holding them off well, Luke noted. They even have the power to mobilize a gigant. There's no further pursuit. I still don't know who's behind the enemy, Luke continued, his mind racing. I might have to return to the territory and prepare for war. Taizel's voice interrupted, dripping with mockery. Damn, it seems you're underestimating us too much. Luke smirked. Well, I also underestimated the young lord. Should we call it even? My magic didn't suit your taste. Who would have thought the heir of a hero's family would resort to such petty magic? Taizel sneered. To go this far to catch a mere child, isn't that a bit too serious? Even a lion gives it their all when hunting a rabbit, Luke retorted, laughing. Haha. You guys separated me from my escort knights and think you've cornered me, don't you? Acting so relaxed? Have you given up? Taizel taunted. Or have you gone mad? If you're trying to buy time, it's pointless. Luke's eyes gleamed. Do you know? The moment you see my power, not a single one of you will survive. Save in dimension. The ground shook as golems erupted from the earth. What? Where did all those golems come from? Taizel shouted. Everyone, stay calm, a knight ordered. Summoning even one isn't easy, so how? What an annoyingly tricky one, Taizel growled. Golems were only threatening in the past. Don't forget, we have the gigant. You haven't forgotten, have you? Whoever brings me the young lord's head will be appointed the next knight commander, Taizel declared. Knight commander, you say? A knight replied, eager. There are quite a few, but they're just piles of rocks. Even dozens of golems are no match for it. Show your skills to your heart's content. Sir Taizel, you must keep that promise, another knight added. Everyone, step aside. That one's head is mine. Luke smirked. Simple and brutish. To even dismiss my immortal army as mere piles of rocks. We'll see after 500 years. Then to these youngsters. Shall I give them a history lesson? Marionette. The golems moved with unnatural speed, surrounding the attackers. Are golems really this fast? A knight gasped. We're surrounded in an instant. You idiots. If you keep underestimating them like that, you'll regret it in the afterlife. Taizel shouted. Why, the ground? Another knight stammered as the earth began to split. Understanding the terrain of the battlefield. That is the foundation of strategy, Luke said calmly. Deliberately targeting the ground? The ground is splitting. The ground beneath our feet. No way, this guy. Taizel screamed as the ground collapsed. The ground is collapsing. Everyone retreat. I warned you, didn't I? Luke said, his voice cold. Arrogance born from relying only on numbers and the gigant. This is your downfall. Reflect on it in the afterlife. Aya! The ground! The knights screamed as they fell. Phew, what a shame, Luke muttered, surveying the chaos. I should have caught a few and asked about who's behind this, a survivor staggered forward. Damn bastard, how dare you destroy my knights? This might actually work out better, Luke said, advancing. Try it if you can. I'll capture you and make you confess everything. I won't let you die easily. I'll make you suffer. Until you beg me to kill you. Damn it. Damn, this is annoying, the knight groaned, clutching his chest. My heart feels like it's going to burst. Luke raised his hand. Darkafel, he faltered, his mana spiraling. My mana is out of control. This damned curse, ugh. This is the end, the knight roared, lunging. I'll crush you alive. With just a curse of this level, how noisy, Luke growled, forcing his mana to stabilize. Did you think I wouldn't be able to deal with you? Monarch. It's Count Monarch, the knight gasped, collapsing. Everything was under Count Monarch's orders. I'll talk. Before my patience runs out, you'd better tell me who your master is. No way, what the hell? A descendant of heroes using black magic, the knight stammered. This is black magic. Mercy, you say? Please. Please, just this once. I have never once forgiven my enemies, Luke said coldly. Count Monarch from that arena. That's all I know. Please, have mercy. Whether demons or humans, absorbing power doesn't feel great, Luke muttered, absorbing the knight's mana. Count Monarch, for something from Lamer, this is far too meticulous. To deploy knights, assassins, and even a gigant to move such a large force so discreetly. Is there another reason they targeted the Rockin family? Rogers and Philip caught up, panting. Young lord. You came quicker than I thought. Of course, what do you take me for? Luke replied, smirking. Young lord. I'm so relieved you're safe. Let's go quickly. We've already wasted too much time. So it was Count Monarch behind this after all, Rogers said grimly. I can't be sure, but either way it's better not to go to Lamer territory. Young lord, you should return to the territory and reinforce the troops further. There's no guarantee something similar won't happen again. Ha! Luke said, glancing at the trailer. After taking this much damage, the enemy won't move easily either. There is a place nearby that sells gigants. Now is the best time to secure a gigant. But without a carriage, there's no way to get there, Philip pointed out. Who says we don't have a carriage? Luke grinned. There's one right there that they brought. Wow, this is a total turn of events. It wasn't intentional, but we got a free trailer out of it. Rogers frowned. Carefree talk, have you already forgotten what just happened? Philip. From now on, more intense training. The young lord's safety comes first. Uncle, calm down, Philip pleaded. Thankfully, it all ended without incident. Besides, the young lord is safe. The ground collapsing right at that critical moment and subduing all the enemies at once. Rogers mused. This must have been the ancestors' blessing. Blessing my ass, Luke muttered. I almost died, unable to take revenge because of the curse. The ripple I felt the moment I tried to use black magic. The power that stopped in my heart. The black circle that was definitely the ripple of a curse. I've regained the power to counter the curse, but it seems the current circle is insufficient. Who in the world could cast such a curse? At the capital's main branch, Darren faced a shadowy figure. Are you the one called Darren? Yes, that's correct. But, Darren replied uneasy. As the intermediary, last year's order from the guild master, our guild was on the brink of success. Why have you called me? The figure demanded. You remember the directive to secure Demon King Seaman's stronghold, right? But some bastard interfered. Interference, the figure mused. How intriguing. Sir, do you know the identity of the one responsible? I'm merely curious, the figure said, stepping closer. Who is the one disrupting the plan? This time I'll definitely succeed. Darren vowed. Speak. Who said I was going to kill you? Please spare me. The city of Brendan buzzed with energy. The scale is amazing, Luke marveled. It seems busier than when I was in Lamer. Of course, Brendan is famous for its many magic towers across the continent, Rogers explained. Thanks to that, the streets are full of magicians, making it the driving force of the city's development. Merchants and technicians flock here. In fact, this is the best place around here to buy gigants. They have everything from warrior class to hero class. Some places even produce dozens of units in just a month. My lord, there's no need to look anywhere else, Philip added. This place even has a branch of the Veritas Magic Tower. Since gigant production started at the Veritas Magic Tower, the foundation is solid. Veritas Magic Tower. Luke muttered, memories stirring. Most of the gigants recognized across the continent were made by them. New magic technology using golems. There's a branch of it here. He recalled a conversation from centuries ago. Elder, You're a genius. The thesis you wrote will change the world. You're too kind, the elder had replied. It's all thanks to the Duke's support. It feels like it was just yesterday. Everything is still so vivid, Luke thought. Giving money to them is unpleasant. I'll take it apart piece by piece, find its strengths and weaknesses, and create something even better. At the Veritas Magic Tower branch, a guard blocked their path. This place is not open to just anyone. Only those of Baron status or higher may enter. Luke's eyes narrowed. They grew so much over 500 years that they even set up a branch here. Are you judging me without confirming my status? Show respect immediately. Ha ha ha. Isn't that family famous for being poor? The guard sneered. Do they even have money to buy a gigant, let alone repair one? How rude, Rogers growled. This is Luke, heir to the Locken barony. Are you insulting the Locken family? Don't pay them any mind, Luke said, waving it off. Even after 500 years, they are still rotten. It's on a completely different level than the magic towers we've seen so far. The tower's grandeur was undeniable. The gigants coming out of these workshops must have impressive volume and quality, Luke noted. What did you just say? A guard snapped. Sigh, but the disgusting attitude remains the same, Luke said. To you who have thrown away all manners, I see no value in spending money here. Damn it. I'm sorry, Roger said, bowing. As the knight captain, it's my failure for such humiliation. No, it's not your fault, Luke replied. If the gatekeepers are like this, the inside of the magic tower must be even worse. Consider it saving time, let's check out another magic tower. Yes, I will guide you to the next candidates, Roger said. Those Veritas guys. I'll let it slide for now since buying a gigant is the priority. But once the job is done, I'll get proper revenge. At the modern magic tower, the atmosphere was different. This place seems worth checking out, right? Philip asked. Yes, it's excellent enough to be one of the top 10 magic towers, Rogers confirmed. I heard no other place can match its production speed. If the quality is good, it must be excellent, Luke mused, admiring the designs. What brings you to our magic tower? Are you looking for a specific gigant? Greetings, I'm Garrett, the general manager of the modern magic tower, a man introduced himself. I'm looking for a gigant in the 30,000 peso range. Do you have any recommendations? Of course, I'll explain everything slowly with this catalog, Garrett said. We have gigants specialized in power, defense, and more. The guidance and explanations are detailed and well-organized, Luke noted. Above all, their customer service is excellent. Unlike Veritas, they don't judge by appearance or status. They seem to genuinely care about their customers. Not all top 10 magic towers are trash, I see. But the visit soured when a customer shouted, What? You can't repair it? This is clearly a durability defect. Please calm down, it's not a defect, it's just, the staff stammered. As soon as it hit, the gigant crumpled like a tin can, the customer raged. No need to waste any more time here, Luke said, turning to leave. They say this city specializes in gigant production, but it's a mess. Back when the Empire had strict controls, only top-tier gigants were made. I agree. But now, as long as you have money, the quality has dropped significantly. A desperate voice caught his attention. This is a truly innovative gigant. Please, just take a look, stop clinging like a beggar. Get lost? A passerby snapped. Sigh. Walking around begging with blueprints in hand, Luke muttered. It explains why gigant quality has dropped so much. He approached the man. This design is quite interesting. Designing the gigant's frame based on golem theory. It might be considered old-fashioned, but it's not bad. Is it thanks to Mute's teachings? Now I can truly appreciate gigants. Tell me how much investment you need. Are you serious? The man gasped. Investment. To finish the rest, I'll need about 10,000 pesos. Take me to your lab, Luke said. Since you said you lacked money, I assumed you'd also lack space and equipment for gigant production. But it seems I was wrong. You at least have your own magic tower, haha. The previous gigant model sold well enough to keep this place running, the man explained. That's why most of the people left and only a few of us remain. But the new model costs too much time and money to make. This guy, he's not a scammer, is he? Luke thought, inspecting a gigant. This gigant is. Sting, isn't it? Oh. Do you know about Sting? The man asked, excited. I've seen it once before. Even then, the magic implementation in the gigant was impressive. Hee. The exterior might look similar. The man said. But this is a completely different machine from Sting. We've applied all the latest technology from our Hallis Magic Tower and redesigned everything from the internal performance. It's Sting too. I'm intrigued. How long will it take? Luke asked. The major work is done, only the fine-tuning remains, the man replied. It'll probably take 1 or 2 months. I'm sorry. Precision work like this requires extra caution. We're short on staff, so it might take a little longer. Then I'll invest an additional 20,000 pesos, Luke said. Hire more technicians and finish it within a week, can you? Woohoo. Please wait a moment. I'll be right back, the man shouted, running off. Everyone. Great news. You can start working again. And also, we can pay you generously this time. Luke smirked. I know very well what research-obsessed magicians are like. I'm looking forward to it the moment this place rises to join the top 10 magic towers. Now that I've gotten what I wanted, he thought, his expression darkening. It's time to start my revenge. Luke slipped into the Veritas magic tower under the cover of darkness, his dark invisibility spell cloaking him. Well then, what kind of price should I make you pay? But wandering around like this won't accomplish anything. For a tower's security, it's surprisingly lax. He reached the exclusive archive for senior wizards. I should have done this earlier. The security is weaker than I thought. I just need to quickly grab the magic books from there. A voice interrupted his thoughts. Looking for a useful wizard. Who's born as a high-level wizard anyway? No, if I just have that. I can reach not just mid-level wizardry but even higher. Maybe I could even become a Meister. Luke smirked. There's always an idiot like this wherever you go. But sticking with this guy might be fun. The man, unaware of Luke's presence, fiddled with a lock. Haha. Even the lock mechanism is nothing special. Recently, I don't recall granting any entry permits. High-ranking wizards are so careless with these things. Wait for me, my glorious future. A cold voice cut through. Then you must be an intruder? If you're an intruder, I have every right to kill you on the spot, don't I? It was Jameson, the Meister of the Veritas Magic Tower branch. Sorry. Please forgive me just this once, the man stammered. And no. I just took a wrong turn. I mean, this mana pressure is overwhelming, he gasped, collapsing under Jameson's power. Then that's a relief, Jameson said, his tone mocking. I almost thought you were a thief for sure. I almost accidentally harmed a valuable colleague of the tower. I happen to have a very important scroll with me right now. It's top secret, so it absolutely cannot leak out. I hope you understand the sensitivity of security. Why yes. Of course, the man stammered. I always admire your efforts for the prosperity of the tower. Oh, thank you for understanding, Jameson replied. Honestly, it's quite burdensome for me. Since you're also a colleague of the tower, you must know, right? It's about the new hero grade Gigant. Hero grade? The man gasped. Isn't that a rank that's rare even across the continent? You know well, Jameson said. Security aside, even interpreting the blueprints is a big challenge. It's really not easy. Amazing. Hero grade Gigant blueprints, the man marveled. Just a quick glance tells me this is an incredible magical masterpiece. Just looking at it makes me feel like my magic rank is increasing by several levels. But you saw it, didn't you? Jameson said, his voice turning cold. Please understand, it's the rule to erase anyone unqualified who sees the scroll. Wait. This is unfair, the man protested. This was something the branch head showed me. You shouldn't have even looked at it, Jameson snapped. You pathetic little thing. Please. I was wrong, AARGH, the man screamed as Jameson's magic struck. See? You dare to reach beyond your limits. If you'd stayed in your place, you could have avoided this. If you're reborn, act according to your position. Luke, still hidden, muttered, showing classified information just to justify killing him. You just wanted to kill him, right? As expected, whether in the past or now, there's no sane person in Veritas Magic Tower. He revealed himself. So, you're the branch head of Veritas Magic Tower? At least you have some sense. It's taking longer to analyze the blueprints than I thought. Jameson's eyes narrowed. I don't know who you are, but show yourself. Where are you from? What's your purpose? My purpose has been the same for 500 years, even now, Luke said. To rid the world of rotten trash like you. To remove it from the world. How dare you speak such nonsense, Jameson snarled. Did you just call the branch head of Veritas trash? Veritas is a group with intelligence beyond your reach. We are the chosen ones. If you speak recklessly, you'll never see the light again. Oh, the chosen ones, huh? Who decided that? Luke taunted. You haven't changed in 500 years or now, and you don't even consider others as people. But starting from today, that delusion of yours ends. The word veritas itself will be erased from history. Ugh. MMPH. Jameson gasped as Luke's dark bullet struck. I heard iron mages keep away from battle, but I didn't think a sixth circle branch head would be such a coward. Luke seized the hero-grade Gigant blueprints. There are only a few of these across the entire continent. I don't know why they're here, but I'll put them to good use. The secret weapon of Veritas Magic Tower. Ha ha. Watching it destroy the Veritas Magic Tower will be quite the sight. Ha 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 ha. Watching the Veritas Magic Tower collapse will be quite the sight, Luke said, laughing. I've gained an unexpected great reward. Just losing these alone will be a huge blow to the Veritas Magic Tower. But his satisfaction was tempered. Still, this isn't enough to satisfy me. If this is the price for the secret techniques and magic books you've gathered for 500 years in this space filled with greed built by trampling others, then I should at least give you this as a gift. This is quite a fitting end. Roughly calculating, the damage is equivalent to dozens of gigants, he mused. Securing expensive magic books and hero-class Gigant blueprints was a bigger gain than expected. Revenge was the goal, but I gained a lot. Philip noticed his mood. Young lord, you look even happier than when you received the new Gigant. Did something good happen? Tell us too. I'm happy to return to my territory, Luke said, deflecting. Me too. I want to hurry back and get some rest. Ha! What a terrifying thing to say. Rogers interjected. Rest? No way, we're heading straight to the training ground. Have you already forgotten the confrontation with the merchants? As knights, protecting while fighting is the basics. Once we return, I'll make sure you train your stamina again. Arg. Young lord, please stop your uncle. Philip pleaded. We've achieved more than we aimed for, Luke said, his thoughts drifting. Once we return, I can focus solely on recovering my mana circle. His reverie was broken by a familiar sight. That is? Princess Reina? Reina knelt in prayer. Oh, great God Alcacel, as the daughter of Belas, mother of the earth, I am a young and humble daughter. Please grant me the power to help our Vulcan refugees. I earnestly pray, Princess Reina, Luke called, approaching. Why are you here, praying like this? Luke, young lord? Reina gasped. How are you here, young lord? And this trailer, what is it? A lot has happened in the meantime, Luke said. Could it be that Count Monarch did something? Why are you here instead of in Lamer, princess? Yes, young lord, you warned me, but in the end this happened, Reina said, her voice heavy. After you left Lamer, young lord, I thought the Count's tyranny would quiet down. But with no justification left, he became even more aggressive. He doubled the refugees' taxes and tormented them. He even set fire to the refugees' homes, injuring and killing many people. We decided that we could no longer stay in Lamer. So we came to seek help from Marquis Myers, one of the 3 noble leaders. But he hasn't agreed to meet you? Luke asked. Yes, not yet, Reina admitted. We've been like this for already 3 days. The princess couldn't give up, so she kept praying at the castle gates until she... Waiting endlessly, exhausting yourself while praying to a god that won't answer, Luke said, frustrated. This is frustrating, really? Why, young lord? That's too much. Reina's attendant protested. From Marquis Myers' perspective, he has no reason to accept this, Luke said. He would have to take in tens of thousands of refugees, and considering the territorial war with Count Monarch, it would be a huge risk. What kind of fool would accept such a request? Are you saying that I'm doing something pointless? Reina asked, her voice trembling. Yes, that's right, Luke said bluntly. After everything that happened in Lamer, did you learn nothing? To protect something, you need power. Without power, you can't protect anything. Reina's eyes flickered with pain. TCH. Even though I know she's not Katarina, when I see how much she resembles her, I can't help but care, Luke thought. For now, let's return to the territory, he said. I'll escort you nearby. No. I can't do that, Reina replied. I won't leave until I meet the Marquis. Are you planning to die here if he doesn't see you? Luke snapped. Are you really going to keep doing this? Please, face reality. Princess Reina, trying to take care of tens of thousands of powerless refugees. Of course, problems will keep happening. Right now, you should be worrying about yourself, not the refugees. If I take care of myself and gain the power to protect the refugees, how long will it take? Reina countered. A few months? Or a few years? If the people die during that time, what meaning would it have? You can't save everyone, Luke shouted. If you die trying to save the refugees, wouldn't that be a meaningless death, Princess? Young lord, do you think my life is more valuable than the refugees' lives? Reina asked. No. Well, of course. Every life is equally precious. Their lives and my life are the same, Reina said firmly. These are the people who believe in me even in hardship. I can never abandon them. From my position, I must do whatever I can for them. Memories of Katarina flooded Luke's mind. Seaman, did you hear the news? Why, just because of a fixed status, should that child have to suffer injustice? We weren't born into this by choice. Don't you think a day will come when everyone is equal? A day when everyone can be happy? If, 500 years ago, someone like you had been by our side, maybe things would have been a little different, Luke murmured. Huh? What do you mean? Reina asked, confused. Thanks to you, I remembered, Luke said. The reason I wanted to change the world wasn't just about revenge, but I had forgotten that for a long time. I don't understand what you're saying at all. Princess, hearing your dreamlike story, I also want to lend my strength. The fate of you and the Vulcan Kingdom refugees, the Locken family will stand with you. At the Veritas Magic Tower branch, chaos erupted. Emergency! An intruder at the archive. All guards gather at the archive immediately. Everyone be careful. The enemy is a magician. You bastard! Are you the one who set fire to the archive? A guard shouted. TSK, your defense is already lacking and your identification process is even worse. Don't move. You're surrounded. Wait. Everyone, drop your weapons, a guard stammered. 7 lilies on the back. That emblem is definitely. We greet the 7th Elder of the Veritas Magic Tower headquarters. The branch leader is inside the archive, another guard said. I will guide you. I don't need a guide. Being escorted by the incompetent is disgusting. Gua, the guard screamed. In the name of Veritas, trash is not needed.